Hey guys, I'm a fish guy here, just doing a quick update. I actually took the two Dempseys and convicts and added to the 55-gallon tank to help cycle it and get it ready for whatever I plan to do in there, whether it's discus, flower horns, Texas cichlids. Not sure yet. Wanted to do the discus, but probably will do that in my show tank, just to, that way I can be available for them at all times. But I wanted to do a video. It's a viewer request on the green spotted puffer. I don't have any of those guys down here right now, but they are a unique fish. I love them. Always have. They have great personalities. The green spotted puffer fish, although sold as a freshwater fish, is actually going to turn into a brackish and eventually full salt. Water temperature, you want to keep around 78 to about 80. The pH, they're really not too picky. As long as it's within like the 7.2 to 8.2 range, they're really not too picky about it. The salinity needs to be, in the beginning, you want to do it usually about 1.006 to 1.010. That's in the beginning as a brackish water fish. Eventually they'll have to go full marine, which would be 1.022 to 1.024 on the hydrometer. But these guys are unique fish. They get about 6 to 7 inches. They're really full-bodied, so they're going to look like pretty much just like a ball with teeth and a little tiny tail that helps them get around. But these guys, they're real crazy messy eaters. But you don't feed them your normal foods. You want to do krill. You can do crabs, red claw crabs, fiddler crabs, snails. You want to do some kind of hard-shelled animal or crustacean or invertebrate, just because that way they can help file that beak down. Those teeth are continuously growing, and if they don't munch on something that's hard to help it keep filed down, you actually have to get them cut, or the teeth can actually grow to the point where they can't open their mouth properly to eat. Another thing you can do is I do like a beef heart, like the frozen cubes, and that way they can just sit there and munch on it. They love it. But what I'd actually do is I set up one tank that had other fish in it that just pretty much had snails in it. I think they're the trumpet snails, and I just pretty much throw those in and he'd munch right through them. He loved them. Like I said, that way it kind of helps keep the teeth from overgrowing too much. The nice thing about the green spotted puffer is these guys can live, I believe it's 8 to 10 years, so you can get quite a life out of these guys, which is really nice. But another thing with that comes tank mates. You know, what can you put with these guys? That's real difficult because the green spotted puffers I like to pretty much refer to as the aquarium buzzsaw. These guys, if they could, would pretty much turn around and chew their own fins. So that's something you definitely want to keep an eye on. You don't want to put like guppies, platies, anything small like these guys with them, because they'll pretty much chew right through them. Even the bigger guys can be a little bit of a challenge. I just like to keep these guys in their own, 30 to 40 gallon tank, and that way they're content that you don't have to worry about them competing with anything or getting aggressive with anything. You can pretty much just feed them and make sure that they're getting the food that they need. So that's the only downfall of these guys, is if you want to do a green spotted puffer, they usually have to be in a species only tank and usually by themselves. For buying them, you usually get them real small, pretty much like a size of maybe a quarter if you're lucky, usually more around the size of a nickel. They usually go about $4 to $6 at pet stores. So you definitely want to keep an eye out for them, because they can be a little hard to find, and you want to keep an eye on the tanks as well, because some of the pet stores just have them in full fresh. So you might have to take them home, put them in fresh, and slowly acclimate them to the salt water to provide the adequate care for these guys. Another common thing about these guys is these guys are puffers. They can puff. It's not going to be like your saltwater puffers. I have seen them puff up a little bit, more just trying to intimidate other fish, but you don't want them to puff. This can create undue stress to them, and they can actually die from it. So you definitely don't want to do that. Another thing with these guys, going back to how messy of an eater they are, you do want to do weekly water changes. When I had mine, I was doing weekly water changes, probably about 30%, and the filtration I had on my tank was double what my actual filter or my tank was. So for example, if you had a 30-gallon tank, you want to get like 70 gallons of filtration for the filters. Another thing with these guys is they will tear open plastic plants, live plants, just to rip them apart. So you want to make sure you're not putting anything expensive with them. So, like I said, tank mates you definitely want to keep an eye on. They pretty much can't go with anything. And they'll chew off, like I said, your plastic plant. So you pay $10 on that plant, they're going to destroy it. So that's the only downfall. So another cool thing with these guys, you can put sand in it. That way they can sift through it, get what they need to eat. And sand's also nice because if there is any debris that they give off, pretty much just stays on top and allows for easy cleaning. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns on the green spotted puffer, put it down in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel, share the video, check out my